Hey guys, let's talk about something that I know is going to rile you guys up, and I'm in the mood for a good argument. What do we think about a coffee date? Let's talk about it. Now, listen, before I say this, if you have your life together before the age of 26, you're perfect. Hats off to you. You've never made a bad decision in your life. I was fucking up left and right at that age. Hell, I didn't even get all my shit together until maybe last year. So I will say, if you're under the age of 26, your brain's not fully developed until about 26. You can't even rent a car until that age. A coffee date, something light, is perfect because I'm not expecting a lot from you, financially under that age. I'm just not. So grabbing coffee real quick at under that age, totally fine. I think that fits perfect. I think that is appropriate. I've also found that a lot of older women, maybe 50, 60 and up, will do a coffee date, because at that age, you're just tired of it. You want to get in there, get out, and be done. I get that. That might be appropriate for you. I have a friend who was in her late 50s. Her and her husband's first date was coffee. They're married. She gets whatever she wants. But I think like 26 and up, my age, let me just speak for me. I don't think that a coffee date is appropriate for me. I'm 40 years old. I don't like it. I don't do drink dates because, one, I haven't drank in a little over 2 years. I just woke up one day and decided I don't want to do it anymore. And I also know that a lot of men will use alcohol to try to get us to lower our guard and get rid of our boundaries. They tend to drug alcohol. I don't trust alcohol, so I say no to any kind of alcohol dates. Coffee dates, I hear a lot of women say things like, well, a coffee date isn't that serious. If I don't like him, then I'll get up and walk. Let me tell you something. I could be engaged to you. We're about to walk down the aisle. The photographer is waiting for my grand entrance. Deposits have been made. Family has been flown in. And if you cross the line with me, I'll walk the fuck out of there. So it's no pressure to me because I know my value. I know my time is precious. And if I feel like you're wasting it, I don't care if the guy from Hell's Kitchen cooked us the dinner himself. I will walk out. The only thing that has changed is the setting and what you're eating. That's it. So if you feel pressured because you have unlimited shrimp in front of you, I'm worried that if you get into a relationship, you're going to feel pressured to stay if he's mistreating you because now you're in a relationship. Does that make sense? Also, I've heard women say a coffee date is safer. Again, the only thing that has changed is the location. Instead of being at Starbucks, you're now at a restaurant. In either scenario, you're both at the same place. You both know where each other is. So if you don't feel safe, then you also should not be doing the coffee date. Does that make sense? Also, and listen, I am not talking crap about anybody who is going through a hard time financially. I have gone through a couple of those times in my day myself. Let me just talk about this without people coming for me and getting offended. Because like I said, I'll block you. I don't care. I don't have time. If you are at my age and you are financially at a place where you can't afford for us to go sit down somewhere and eat, then you are not somebody that I should be talking to. No, I'm not saying that you have to be rich. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is you can't afford $50 bare minimum for us to go out to eat. No. I have gone through so much in my life to get things where I want them to be, in every way, especially financially. I feel like I don't want anybody who's in a bad place financially because you're just going to take me backwards, because there's this myth of two people get together, they have a double income. But what people tend to forget is y'all are bringing your bills into the relationship, his bills into the relationship, y'all's bills together, more electricity, more food, all this stuff. So you tend to make less money in a lot of situations where you guys come together. So it's not a double income at all. So I have to take that into consideration. And I don't want anybody who's going to take me back to the places in my life, financially, mentally, emotionally, that I have worked to get out of. I'm not living extension to extension and begging and borrowing. I'm not going back to that. I'm not loaning you money. Absolutely not. So if you cannot afford to get me something to eat at a nice restaurant, then it's not going to work. You're not at a good place. There's some shit that you need to work out. And I've heard a lot of women say that, you know what, coffee date, it's not that big a deal. You know, it's just easy. I'm not making shit easy for no man. Let's go ahead and get that. All the shit that I go through as a woman, as a black woman, I ain't making a damn thing easy for no damn man. And women like y'all are the ones who keep messing it up for all of us. All y'all cool girls and y'all low maintenance girls. You know, I'm gonna say this. My friends that are in happy, healthy relationships, they have standards, high standards. They have expectations. And they're spoiled. And I can tell you right now, if they walked out that front door, their partners would implode. But all my friends who don't care, go with the flow, low standards, those are the ones in unhealthy relationships, getting broken up with, not happy. I'm gonna need y'all to start caring. I'm gonna need y'all to raise your standards up just a smidge. Because until y'all get on board with this plan, we're gonna make a little progress, but it's not gonna be much. And I've heard a couple women say, well, I don't want the commitment. Let me tell you something. Me getting in my car and leaving my house for anything is a commitment. I have anxiety. Sometimes it's hard for me to get out of bed. Meeting you at Starbucks would still be a commitment. So if I'm going to get up and be nervous and do my hair, I would like to be going to a restaurant. The next thing is, I can get myself coffee on any given day. I haven't drank coffee in a while, but I can do that myself. You know, run to Target real quick, you get your Starbucks or whatever. I can do that real quick myself. That's nothing to me. I can go through the drive-thru and do it myself. I want something a little bit more formal. And men might say, well, I don't want to spend the money if you're not worth it. So from the jump, you're telling me I'm not worth it. Canceled. Access denied. Absolutely not. A lot of y'all are already starting off on the wrong foot. Low expectations. You don't think you're worth it. You know, you agree with him that you're not worth it. All these making it easy for him. And then you wonder why you're not happy. And there might be exceptions to the rule where y'all ride off into the sunset and y'all are happy. But I need y'all to get out of exception land and live in reality land. So overall, in my personal opinion, would I do a coffee date? No. But, I mean, hey, if that's something that you want to do, then go for it. But whatever. What do y'all think?
I think a lot of women got dating and standards and expectations misconstrued with the fake economy. I think y'all don't really understand what even dating is about. Y'all don't understand the value of meeting the opposite sex and coming together as one. Y'all don't understand the frugalness behind costs, so that way you can be more prosperous. A lot of you modern women don't really have an idea of the world. For y'all to come out and complain about where a man's taking you for a date just shows that y'all are not interested in a man. I don't think any of y'all are really interested in men. I really think that y'all just all want to date yourselves with somebody else's wallet. If the location of the place has to be such a critical point in just meeting someone and trying to get to know them. Y'all have no real understanding of the economy because y'all live these lives to where y'all don't really budget. You don't really make your money work for you. We are the highest when it comes to consumerism, women, the highest that would just spend money, and don't necessarily budget and analyze how the money's coming in and how it's going out. And that's why it's just a dire need for y'all to want a man that has a certain amount of income. Well, that's a want, not even a dire need. It's a want. Y'all have this desire of men coming to have a certain amount of income because y'all don't know how to work income. Y'all don't know how to budget. Y'all have to make up all types of excuses on why you won't meet a man that's actually interested in you and not what you do, not what you think you've been doing, not anything that you think gives you some type of valid status. They can care less. What they really want to be in tune with women is your character, your loyalty, that you have a big enough mind to be acceptive to ideology, to a structure, to discipline, to come with the value of youth and fertility, to come with some looks that accentuates yourself as well as him. They're not asking about how much you make. They're not asking about what you do with your money. Not many men care. But that is y'all biggest point in which y'all want in a relationship is what the man's financial value is. Y'all don't care less. Y'all could care less of what the man's mindset is. Y'all can care less of what the man's story is. Y'all can care less about anything that has to be associated with the man himself. Where the date, the location, no matter what age, is a problem. This is why there is so many women that are single, because you can't get out of your own warped mind on how even the dating mechanism works. When you meet a gentleman and he shows he's interested in you, if you're not interested, you can let him know right then and there. Men are used to rejection. If you are interested, it shouldn't matter where the heck he takes you. It shouldn't matter how much he spends. It really shouldn't, because you're there to meet him. You're not there to date the food. You're not there to date the waiter. You're not there to date the restaurant. You're there to meet him. You're there to try to know him, to try to understand him, walk into his world. How could you be a part of his world? Because it is a man's world. What is it that can make me more of an asset to him so I can become part of his world? To where I fully walk into the path of being his world. I can care less. Now, older y'all get, the more expectations y'all want out of a man, but it's the less you're willing to give him. The younger you are, you don't really even look for it. It's not your concern. Because you're just trying to have fun. See how many bodies you can have, and how many drinks you can take in. You're not even concerned on the path of what we are designed to be in. Because there's so much out here, so many opportunities out here to just be so destructive with your life that you don't even fall on a path of marriage. You don't even fall on a path of trying to get into a stern relationship. Because I think everything's about fun. Girls just want to have fun, right? Y'all don't think about y'all futures, and then when it gets to a point where you realize you didn't make it somewhere, you're starting to expect more from the opposite sex instead of you putting out more, instead of you doing more. The older you get, you should be on your hands and knees, willing to clean any house a man that's willing to accept you in. Because you don't hold much value if you haven't been married yet. So what? He wants to take you to a Starbucks. So what? He wants to take you to a cheesecake factory. So what? He is interested in you. He is interested in you. Men always are the ones that do the planning. They're always the ones that try to get the date together. They're the ones that actually take days out of the time to try to make something happen so y'all can enjoy the time together as y'all enjoy each other. And you're more concerned on the location. You're more concerned on what he's spending. You don't even care what he likes. Do y'all even ask these questions in dates anymore? Do you even ask, okay, do you have any small-term goals that you are trying to succeed in right now? Maybe I can help you with. What kind of talents do you have that maybe, I can help you out in? You like working with your hands? What is it that you like to do with your hands? How is your mind? Do you like to read? I have books that I've read. None of y'all women don't even read today. But y'all concerned about a darn coffee date. So what? Starbucks, so what? You shouldn't be concerned about location. You shouldn't be concerned about anything that has to do with the setting. You should be concerned about the person who is willing to put the setting together. But y'all don't care about the person willing to put the setting together, because all you care about is what he is able to provide for you, not what you are able to provide for him. And they got the audacity to be upset when men are starting to look at the settings the way they are now. That women don't even deserve to even be on a coffee date. Women don't even deserve to be at a cheesecake factory, because all they're going to do is belittle us publicly and think they're entitled to more that we are supposed to give them to. We are supposed to just provide for women that won't even sit down and have an actual conversation with us, because she's too concerned of looking at her phone, telling her little sisterhood or how she's getting this or getting that at the date. She's too concerned of how she looks, so she's constantly taking selfies, too concerned on what she's drinking, too concerned on the outfit she's wearing to see if there's eyes looking at her, eyes Googling her, too concerned with everything other than the person that created the setting. So when men start getting on a coffee date level, y'all are mad. Y'all are not even concerned enough of the man for y'all to be deserving of something higher. Y'all are not. If the date itself is a freaking problem for you, you do not show that you were interested in them. A lot of you modern women have not shown that y'all are interested in men. You are interested in how much they make. You are interested in the value that they have in status. You're not even interested in the value of what they have with their mind. You're not interested in the value of their character. You're not interested in any of that. Y'all are willing to sleep with married men just if he pays a bill or two. Y'all are willing to sleep with some scammers because he has income on a daily basis that goes on a daily basis. Y'all are interested in drug dealers because of the rush of the lifestyle. Y'all are interested in all the wrong things. Y'all can chase all of these Tom, Dick, and Harrys that are in these types of paths of life, but the guys that are the backbone of the society, the ones that work with their hands, the ones that's tearing houses down and building them up, the ones that come fix your sink, the ones that come fix your toilet, the one that comes fix your house, the one that comes fix your lighting, the one that puts the lighting in there, the one that drives the trucks to give you every freaking thing that you need in your house. You belittle them when they want to take you out to try to figure out what you're about. But you can care less on the men out here in society that y'all claim are the worst types of men. Yet they have the most children. They have the most women. 10% of men are having sexual access than the majority of men out here. These are the men that y'all picking. And then a man that actually with some character that shows interest in you, that just wants to meet you for coffee so we can at least see if we can have a cooperative conversation, an intellectual conversation. Can we discuss something other than something you've seen on TV? Can we discuss something other than social media? Can we discuss something other than what you want? Y'all can't do that. But you want to call men narcissists? Men are the problem because of the place and the location they choose to take you out on. None of you women really deserve having a date. None of you women don't even deserve to even be approached. None of you women deserve the time that men have put in. None of you. Because if just meeting for coffee is such a problem, then you are a problem. Y'all want to go ahead and talk about the whole hypergamy situation, how women go to flock with men with finance. That is true by nature. Even before money was a thing, we had a hypergamous nature on finding the most strength in men. Can he hunt? Can he build shelter? Those were a lot more valuable than a stream of income that a man can make, because those were trades and skill that can't be forgotten. A man that can hunt, that's a skill. A man that can build a house, that is a skill. A man that works with his hands, that is a skill. And they will always be able to hunt. They will always be able to work with their hands. They will always be able to provide shelter. They will always be able to provide food. But y'all are more concerned about the dollars and the golds and the diamonds over what a man can actually do. And it just shows on the types of careers younger women are taking now, where they can sell themselves for streams of income. Because of this whole fake idea of the economy, this whole fake idea of convenience. Y'all would prefer to date men that could be the most corrupt and millions of dollars. And just because he flew you out on a plane and brought you over, bought you some bags, y'all probably didn't talk about anything because you're not concerned of that. He's not concerned of your mind. He's not concerned of what the heck you are doing with your life because he knows he could pay you a couple $100 and you'll be on your merry way. That's attractive to y'all. Y'all want to be prostitutes. But a hardworking man that works 12 hours a day, probably 16 on weekends, has a side hustle here and there, trying to build something with himself, trying to build a dream, and just wants to see what you're about and how you can fit into the world he's trying to create. Just meeting for coffee is an insult to you. There's no value behind that man because he's not flying you on a darn plane somewhere. He's not spilling hundreds of dollars on you on the first darn day. And y'all wonder why y'all are in situations y'all are in now with the relationships you're either in or the relationships you're not in. It's funny how I hear the most complaints about coffee dates is from single women. It's funny how I hear there's so much wrong with a man right now from single women. We're supposed to learn from the women not in the role of a relationship. How are they right on anything? Y'all are just complainers. Y'all are just degraders. And the sad part about it is y'all will degrade yourself more than anybody else that exists. Y'all are willing to degrade yourselves more than anybody else that exists. Men don't degrade you if you're willing to put your own body up online. Men don't degrade you if you're willing to sleep with a bunch of men for money. Men don't degrade you on that because you give them the opportunity to do that to you. You degraded yourself. The privilege to be asked out from a man and want to take you on a date for some coffee and try to get to know you. Because he could just be like, look, Leah, here's a few $100, let's just get to it. Do y'all prefer that and just hurry up and get it over with? I know a lot of y'all do, otherwise OnlyFans wouldn't exist. The porn industry wouldn't exist. Because you're incentivized for your own self-degradation, you don't look at it as you're doing it yourself. It's everybody else's fault because everybody's paying for it. But a man that want to hold some honor and show you some respect, that just wants to meet you at a coffee place, meet you in a park somewhere, meet you somewhere it secludes you and him enough to be able to talk and have an intellectual conversation, is an insult. Y'all got a lot of stuff misconstrued and backwards. And a lot of you are going to die alone because of that. But what do y'all think? Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. I know it's been a long time, but I am here and I am back. Please go ahead and subscribe. And until next time.